Everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're actually doing the second episode in our Clash Academy series. Once again, I'm actually going to be analyzing two attacks for this episode. Both have been submitted by the Lightning again. This was just from the last war in our clan, and looking to look over these and see where we can make some improvements. So let's get right into it. First, just starting by looking at the army composition down here. I see that she's set up to do a queen walk without a queen. That's a problem. I don't ever recommend doing a healer's to try to walk a king, which, as you'll see as we start this replay here, is exactly what she tries to do. I don't like to do this because the king isn't ranged, and so if he attacks an air defense, your healers will be within range. And his ability doesn't pull him out of the line of fire. As you can see there, she has to activate it really early, and it doesn't take that X-bow or the Tesla or the cannon or anything off of it. Earthquakes to open up over here, which isn't good. The king did a little bit of funneling, but now see these healers are just going to die right away because they're just trying to go over to these golems and they're getting shot at. They really serve no purpose anymore after the king died so quickly. Additionally, I don't like that she placed this rage on just golems. I would have liked to see these witches get in further beforehand. She's also placing down all of the witches without trying to funnel this side at all, which is not a good thing because, as you can see, a lot of the skeletons are going to go that way. There's also really nothing now at this point to deal with that clan castle. All the witches are spreading out in two different directions here. The clan castle is just tearing through her golems, and nothing's really even happening with the attack at this point, and it's just started. The skeletons are all going to go in the center, and they're just going to get fried by that dragon once the golems are dead, as well as the wizard towers. And now we've got two groups of witches, as you can see on either side here, that are spreading out and are just circling the base. Not a single one went inward. And so now we've got the other rage spell down just to try to get some extra damage to hope for that 1 star. But there's really not much that can be done at this point. Placing the poison there really has no effect to it. It's just using the spell because the attack at this point is already over. You can see there's only 13 seconds left in it. So just starting based on this first attack here, I would have liked to see the healers get dropped and not even have those. There's really no point in doing that when you don't have a queen, because you don't want to do a king walk. I like the earthquake to open up right down here in the start of the attack. I think it would have been beneficial to place the king over here and funnel just like she did. That was good. And replace those healers with like a couple P.E.K.K.A.s and maybe a few extra wizards. You could use one P.E.K.K.A. over here along with a wizard or two to funnel this side, and then send your main army right up the center. Could have possibly even used a few wall breakers to... Let's go back here so we can see the base. Could have used a couple wall breakers here to open up this compartment and funneled both sides of it with the king here and a P.E.K.K.A. and a couple wizards over here. Wall breakers go in here, and then use the earthquake to open up this. If you place the earthquakes right here, it would have gotten you into 1, 2, 3, and 4 different compartments. So it would have opened up a lot more access, including access to the town hall. I also would have liked to see something to kind of deal with the clan castle a little bit more. This one is actually pretty well placed here, so it would have been difficult to lure it. But being a bit more careful with making sure that the witches go to the center in the first place, and then dropping that poison early to slow down the clan castle and damage them, would have helped deal with that. So those are my suggestions on how we could have improved this attack and make it so that you could actually secure at least a 2-star. But let's go over and let's check out another attack by the Lightning. Alright, we're back here with her other attack in this same war. Again, attacking another Town Hall 9 with a pretty similar strategy. You can see she's got the healers in there. The golems have been dropped in place of P.E.K.K.A.s Still quite a few witches, and then she's got a few like cleanup troops. This was actually her first attack of the war, and so she made a little bit of modifications for the other one that we already showed. So again, same errors, if you want to call them that, with the army composition, with including those healers, because you don't want to try to do a king walk. But let's see where she goes as we start this attack. You see earthquakes, but she only had 3 of them, so they didn't actually break into these walls, which she did fix for the second attack, because 4 earthquakes of any level will get through any level of wall, so that's always nice to know. This is something right off the bat that I don't like. Barbs and archers like that should be used as cleanup in a war attack instead of trying to use them to funnel. So I would have liked to see like an archer on each of these builder huts in the corner to get that percentage, and then save the barbs for like the end of the attack in order to clean up afterwards. In order to set this funnel, you could have placed a single witch here or whatever. Make sure it's back far enough though so it doesn't get targeted by these archer towers right away, and instead its skeletons can cover for it. You could even do 1 on each side here to funnel. I believe she's going to attack from here. Yeah, see, now the king has to go down to funnel because those cleanup troops weren't able to do that. King's luckily actually going to go inside, and so he'll deal with a couple things. She sends another P.E.K.K.A. in there to follow. The problem here, too, is with those earthquakes, nothing's really been opened up. And see, now these witches are going over to that builder hall back there. Back here. Clan Castle goes in, and then the healers come down. They're going to target those P.E.K.K.A.s, but they really aren't going to do much at this point, because there's really not much point to healers for including them in the main part of an attack. I like to use them at the beginning with a queen walk, but it's really difficult for them to do anything here. As you can see, this dragon's going to come over and nothing can target it. Witches are circling around on this side, and once again everything is going around the base. So one thing that I've commonly seen from Lightning's attacks that we've analyzed so far in this series is that she seems to be setting one side of a funnel. So I know I had some questions with the last video of what funneling even is. Funneling is taking out buildings that are on like 2 sides of something in order to send your main attack upward. So you always want to set 2 sides of a funnel. You can see here that she funneled this area and then tried to send her main attack in the same spot. Instead, I would have funneled here like with the king, and over here with one of the P.E.K.K.A.s, and maybe a wizard or 2 to help out on each side. And so you'd be taking out buildings on both sides here, so when you place your main attack, say in this area, they're all going to go up the front because there's no buildings pulling them to these sides. So, and you can see that that's exactly why we have P.E.K.K.A.s circling on this side and witches circling on the other side, because none of the buildings on the sides were cleared, and the main attack was just sent where buildings had been cleared. So now with the air defense on those healers, they're going to get killed, and then once they're gone, those P.E.K.K.A.s don't stand a chance against the dragon because none of them can target it. And so there's really not much left to this attack. She's not going to be able to get up to the 50% for a 1-star here without anything to deal with the dragon from the clan castle. So overall, these attacks were a bit rough. I would have liked to see her do a bit more to deal with the clan castle, especially. I know a fair number of our clan members have been struggling with that. If you can lure a clan castle, absolutely go for it. Do it. We'll look at this base again real quick, and you can see by tapping on the clan castle, and you can see this when you're scouting, so it's important to remember that. It does go out past this ring here, is its range for where you can lure. It does go out past these few defenses, so by bringing just a single hog rider, you could send it on, say, this archer tower, and that hog is going to be within range of your clan castle, and it'll lure it out. Place an archer or 2 back here or whatever, and then have a little kill squad to deal with it. Place the poison early to slow them down and damage them. Place a few wizards around, and you'll have no problem with that Clan Castle for the rest of your attack. After that point, then you set the funnel like we were talking earlier with 2 sides, and head with your main attack right through the center. So, pretty common errors from these attacks, and relatively easy fixes too with a little bit of practice. So, I hope that this information was helpful. If it was, consider leaving a like on the video or subscribing to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'll be back with another video soon.